Alright, what we have here is gear, and I'm gonna mod scroll through it to show the things on top of it, or the booleans. And then I'm gonna switch to another one, the high poly model for this gear, and this showing the solved version of it. I think there's in total like 8 triangles, if I'm not mistaken. But I mean, the whole quad to triangle thing, if it's a flat surface, really doesn't matter. But alright, here's another one. We're actually gonna solve this one. And mainly it's just holes in the gear or whatever instead of the square cuts or whatever it was, or circular cuts or quarter circular cuts or whatever. We're gonna use a 24 round cylinder. The cylinder that I used for the gear is actually like what, 34. So I wanted to go with 24 to cut down the poly count so there wouldn't be so many stuff to connect or stuff to, like, I guess, like pole or triangulate, or well, not triangulate, but like add a pole or leave it a triangle. Because at the end of this model, I think I do end up with like, I think like 8 or 6 triangles, or 12, somewhere around there. I can't remember. Don't matter. I'm just gonna delete this. I was just using that as a test thing to see how it might look. But yeah. Now we're just gonna add we're gonna apply the scale or location shit to it, and then we're gonna add a array modifier. We're gonna take it down a little bit, so I don't want too much hell. Just want a gear with a couple holes in it. No. Like right here, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna rename it. Yeah, and then I'm gonna have it, call it gear 2, and then have a base. Save it. Back it up. Yeah, we're gonna go through and get to it. Right here, I play around with it for a little bit, just trying to see how I want to connect it or whatever. I'm not really hardcore going with edge flow right here. I mean, I kind of was there for a second, but after a while, it don't really matter, because I'm just gonna use machine tools and add a offset cut. But I'm still gonna be a nerd and play with it for a while. Speaking of which, I'm not doing this live. The audio is recorded after the fact because I can't really do this live because I don't get time to do audio very often or whatever. Like right now, my kid's asleep and my wife is gone, so and nobody else is here, so yeah. My brother's not over here. I'm totally alone, so I actually have a little bit of time to do some audio. So that's why the audio is not live, but and yeah, it's kind of counterintuitive. You should just do the audio live or whatever, but like I said, my situation requires it or whatever. I mean, unless y'all want to hear a bunch of screaming in the background, and nobody really likes my videos anyways, I don't believe, so why make it worse? But right now, I'm just, like I said, trying to, not really going for edge flow right now. I'm just trying to get the things nice. I mean, I do go for edge flow a little bit, but in the end, on this flat surface and the way I'm doing it, you can go for edge flow, but it doesn't really matter. I don't believe, in all honesty, as long as you add the offset to protect your perimeters. What's his name? His name used to be like Master Xeon or something, but it's like MX2 now, or whatever. You should always remember his saying, protect your perimeters or whatever. I mean, almost rule number 1. But I mean, I think In all honesty, I think you'd have to do all this stuff before you'd want to protect your perimeters or whatever. At least I believe you would. So that's what I'm doing here, I guess. And then I'll stupidlessly play around with beveling the edges for a minute. Okay, I'm getting too far ahead in the video. But for the most part, really, if it's not a curved surface or whatever, you can have a triangle or a fucking pole, like whatever, like they are, the pole, quad, or whatever. You can have those on flat surfaces or even triangles. It really don't matter as long as you set up the topology right and don't have no pinching or whatnot. And yeah, you could argue the fact, do you really need to go this far? But I'm like I said earlier, Master Xeon. I'm trying to do what Master Xeon does, survive subdivision or whatever. So I mean, cause I liked a lot of his content, and I still watch a lot of it sometimes. But he'd be, I guess he'd be busy or something or whatever. So I'm kind of having to make my own. So it's kind of what I'm doing. And I mean, honestly, like, don't get it twisted. Like, I don't know, the videos are not really for anybody. Like, if you get something off this video, that's cool. But like, it's not really meant for anybody or anybody to get anything off of. I really mainly do it for myself. I like learning new tricks, learning skills, getting my topology down, being all technical and stuff. Because I believe that's what they kind of call what I'm doing here or whatever, kind of like technical artistry or whatever to get your edges and whatnot and all that other stuff. Cause like you could do it, I guess, in Substance Painter or something or whatever. Not Substance Painter, ZBrush or whatever, and just like sculpt it or whatnot. But and that'd be like more artistry or whatever. But I don't have none of that. All I know how to do is model. So that's what I like to do. Almost look at it like a Rubik's Cube or whatever. Like it's like a puzzle you have to solve. And solving it's pretty quite satisfying. I mean, at least I believe so anyways. Get something that looks nice. And you solve just something a little complicated. This one right here, I was kind of struggling with this one. This one is a little rough, a little bit. So many holes, and then 24 what? And there's like, what, 5, 6 holes, I think, somewhere on there. I'm not mistaken. Somebody can count in the comments and correct me or whatever. I'm not really worried about counting or whatnot. But each of them are like 24 round circles. So there's like extra topology and all that other jazz. I mean, it's just so confusing. I mean, but if you look at it as a whole, it's really confusing, but you kind of need to start breaking it down in little sections or whatever. Kind of like I try to do. I try to break it down in like the little corner section that I want to mirror it from, and then I try to work my way around and work my way back over or whatever, and then mirror it to make it look alright, and then mirror it on the other side. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, I only had 4. I thought I had more than that. Oh, cool. I think I rearranged some of it though, because I have a problem with the bevel stuff, but I'm retarded and I'm not remembering to protect my perimeters. You need that offset. No, you don't need machine tools. You really don't. You could do an offset without machine tools. You just have to have a bevel at a profile of like 1 or whatever, and then delete or remove the inner edge, that the edge loop that it brings on the inside of the circle, and leave the outer uh, edge. But I don't want to do all that, so I'm using machine tools. But I'm gonna play around with the bevel and like I guess show me being stupid for a little bit and forgetting that I need to protect my perimeters, boy. I don't know. You can see the little MIF shading there a little bit and stuff. Like, you can't fix it like this. It just does not look accurate, and you're just gonna ruin your hole or whatever. So you really gotta have the edge loop perimeter protection. Yeah, offset right here. Gotta have that, like, protect your edges so the damn shit doesn't pull. I guess the bevel or whatever. Now, see, I'm not all like technical when it comes to the terms of like terminology. No, because I call it whatever I call it, and if it's wrong, whatever, it's wrong. I don't give a crap. Like my last video, I was calling edge loops poles or whatever. I knew they were called edge loops, but I was calling them poles like a freaking dipshit. But I really don't care. It's whatever. I know what it means. I mean, yeah, it does kind of suck for people that are watching that are like, oh well, and that don't know, and then that think it's called that, I guess. But I don't know. I can't help it. I'll call it what I want to call it. Sitting here vaping, watching my past self work. I don't know. And the goal of all quads is really counterintuitive, really. I mean, you do need quads for the most part for a good bit of your model or whatever. Actually, you probably really don't, but I don't know. I like to keep it like, I mean, at least for the cog edges right there, like the edges of the cog. I mean, those kind of need to be like clean or whatever because it's a cylinder. And you don't want it to look jacked up or whatever. It's kind of why I started with like a 64 round cylinder or whatever. 64, yeah, 64 I believe, or 62. I think it's 64 though. Cause I don't know, 34 sometimes I feel, or 32. Yeah, it's 32 I believe. 32 32 round cylinder. Sometimes like if you have to do cuts on the side, it pinches or whatever if you use subdivision. So I've kind of moved into using a 64 round cylinder, and sometimes even 64 round cylinder you can get distortions if you got to make some cuts or something on the edges and like what I mean, I could go into a bunch of detail and show some stuff like onto a rook or whatever. Why I had to go 64 rounds instead of, or well, why I had to go 128 instead of 64. But I guess that'd be a whole nother topic for another video or whatever that I don't really plan on doing. But I guess back onto the cog. I'm pretty much about done here, just with my finishing touches up, mirroring it and getting this stuff all done. Now here I try to use bridge, but I'm retarded and I guess it doesn't work the way I'm thinking it does. Or I'm thinking of another tool and yeah, I'm not using it right or something, whatever. But it don't matter. I'm just gonna delete everything and do my little old standard trick that I like to do sometimes. And then remove the center line to get rid of it, and then we're going to sharpen it up. And I guess put the bevel sharps, like the weighted bevels on it, so it doesn't bevel the corners that I don't want it to bevel or whatever. Been trying new things with beveled like weights and shit like that to have a bevel modifier instead of actually manually applying the bevels manually. Oh yeah, this is some Boolean cleanup from the first portion where I had those Booleans on it. I just didn't clean it up. I know the topology don't look the greatest, but it overall works. It looks good after I get everything done with it. Put the weighted bevels on it, or the weighted the weighted fucking, I guess, the vertex groups or whatever the hell they're called. You're gonna add the bevel modifier, but you're gonna add weight instead of angle or something. I'm gonna struggle here with the bevel modifier for a little bit too. Like I said, I'm so used to doing it manually. And manually, from what I'm to understand, is destructive. And I'm trying to work. I mean, not. This is a destructive workflow. Obviously, what I've done here is destructive. There's holes in the model and everything. But what I'm trying to do is work to where I can keep a base. But I mean, it's just an easy solve. Just name it base, save it in a backup folder on the collection, a new collection, and bing bada boom. But I'm just playing around with some shit, trying to, I don't know, I guess just learn more about the stuff and the tools and everything. I don't know, trying to get better or whatever. But apparently I suck. I guess. Anyways, I don't know. I feel like I can at least model though, so I don't know. Whatever. See, like I said, I'm struggling with the bevel here quite hard. Well, the hops bevel, I should say. I'm trying to get the hops bevel down so I really don't have to go into add the bevel modifier or manually add the bevel, like I said. I don't know. Just trying to work smarter. Nope, still messed up. Oh, nope, nope, go back. Damn it. Push P. Yeah. There you go. GG, game over. I win. We survived subdivision. But yeah, nice. Well, I guess that's about the end. So I'll see you in the next one. Peace.